This time, if you have not filled out a public,
In a very small room, you have a computer inside.
at this time, if you have not filled out a public comment and wish to speak during this meeting, please do so. If not, I will assume that you have nothing to say and we will keep conversations to a minimum. Oh, sorry. Okay. Mr. Kelly, would you mind leading us in a word of prayer?
Sure. Dear my Father, we thank you for the opportunity to come here today and get to represent the people of West Odessa. Lord, we ask that you watch over this meeting and that something positive and productive comes out of this meeting. Lord, watch over each and every one of us as we leave here and keep us safe and head in the right direction. Lord, watch over our country and our president and lead them in the direction that you think that we need to be going. We ask these things in your name.
Amen. I'd like to call to order the regular board meeting, the board of directors of ECUD, pursuant to chapter 551 of Texas Government Code. Notice is hereby given on the 11th day of February 2026. The board of directors of ECUD will hold a regular board meeting at 2:30 in the district's board meeting at 1039 North Moss, Odessa, Texas. Time now is 2:32. All present at this time except for John Hendricks. Okay.
Nicole, you
Oh, we
there?
did? I think so. Oh, okay, great.
Oh, Steve.
Yes, I'm here.
Can you see us? Nicole?
No, I can't see y'all.
Okay.
We can see you.
Okay, public comment on number one, Tommy Urban.
Thanks, Troy.
Yes, sir.
Number two.
Last month, Daryl did good in your place. What I want to say about the 16.75 million, I'm a big advocate of putting watering lines in the ecosystem. And I know there's enough money to do a lot of that and also go outside. Okay, so I would like for y'all to look at, I want to make this sure this on the record here, that when the streets are planted in Uranus, Westmore to 42nd Street, there is a lot of homes in there. And I know in 2021, there's a lot of people coming here and asking for water. So I'm asking y'all to look real hard at that area. And I think Chandler's here, y'all might suggest it to him. He'll probably listen. Also from Milky Way, from Mars to 42nd Street, there's a lot of homes in there. There's some water wells that are weak or just don't exist. There's water hoses running from house to house to house. Okay? Please look at that in the car. Also Riggs, up there on 42nd Street, from Trent to Flamingo. If y'all look at just these three areas right there, you're probably looking at about $4.5 to $5 million to run water lines and up to the service taps for each one of these. And I know these people right here, some of them have been waiting for a long time to make this happen. I'd appreciate if y'all do this here right here, really, really hard. And these people that's in ECUD, if y'all haven't signed up on this QR code, you will not get water. And I can promise you that. Stuff that's been talked about lately, you guys are being left off. And these people that out here that want water in ECUD, they better freaking sign up. They're fixing to run out of time. They're fixing to run out.
Thank you, Tommy. If you wouldn't mind giving that paper to Chandler,
Okay,
when, at the end of the meeting.
and he can read it.
Okay, thank you. I just don't want to lose those numbers.
Dark.
In all transparency though, you made a statement, Tommy, that if they didn't fill out the survey, that you guarantee they wouldn't get water. Just because they fill out the survey, doesn't necessarily mean they're gonna get water. But we need to make sure they understand that point.
I'm trying to make that point, John, and I appreciate it.
Okay. I missed it, I'm sorry.
You're good.
Okay.
All right, number two, discuss and review and take any action to engage Kimley Horn to assist the district in applying for a TWDB water supply and infrastructure grant. I would like to make one comment about this. Debbie brought this up. Debbie found this. This is something that we can get money for that we do not have to pay back. So it's very important for us to spend a little bit of money to try to give you, the consumer, more water. Do I have a motion?
All right.
Motion,
Do motion then discuss.
I guess they can.
Okay.
yeah. Jesus, you make a motion, I'll second. Any discussion?
So this is the one, I see, if I understand, it can be from anywhere from 5 to 15 million that we actually can receive if we qualify.
Correct. So it's anywhere between $5 and $15 million, and it's based on your population size. And so, there are some target dates of when you can actually apply, which is not until March. And then when, the money will actually be lent. It's a point system in which they grade you by. And so you have to have ready projects to deliver to them. And so that's when we will need the expertise of Kimberly Horn to assist us in this. And so, it's kind of funny. I had found it before the freeze. And, when you're at home, and you don't have anything to do, you do a lot of research and reading. And so I went through and looked and read, and I think it was on Monday or Tuesday, Chandler sends me an email. I guess he was bored and was doing the same thing. And so he sent it to me and he goes, look what I found. And I'm like, I found it first. And so
That's awesome.
and so, we visited about it, several times. And so I asked him to please put together what the projected cost would be. And if the board would consider using part of the money that we had set aside for infrastructure to engage Kimberly Horn to help us with this grant application process and put together a ready-made project that, the district could be awarded up to $15 million. And so he has put together a handout for y'all, and, we'll go through what that, I'm gonna let him take the wheel from this and
Big channel.
tell you exactly, the steps that Kimberly Horn will do to assist us, in moving this project forward if the board deems, so.
Great. Thank you, Debbie. Thank you, board members, for the opportunity. So yeah, the grant opportunity that's before you today that we're going to talk about is the water supply and infrastructure grant, the WSIG is what they're calling it through TWDB. Like Debbie mentioned, it is a grant. It's not a loan. So there is no actual match required from the applicants. This is part of the HB 500 appropriated funds. That's a little over $1 billion, and really a lot of it is centered around water supply. So that's really the key part of this grant. And so if you look at the fund allocations, there's different population ranges. ECUD would fall in that 10,000 to 150,000 person population range, meaning that, like Debbie mentioned, we could qualify up to $15 million maximum. And those funds can be used for planning, design, construction, and even land acquisition services. So depending on what projects we want to do, we can get funding up to $15 million for all of those different things. Eligible applicants, the district is eligible. Some that aren't would be like a water supply corporation. That's a key thing to understand. I know we have some neighbors that are a water supply corporation. They wouldn't actually be eligible for this. And then just some of the requirements, like I said, it needs to be centered around water supply. And so, looking through the research, this would actually apply to ECUD because there's portions of ECUD that don't currently have water. So we can extend water lines out to those customers and get them water. That would be a new supply for those customers. So this would be applicable for those funds. So it would score really well in that, in my opinion. It needs to be consistent with the state water plan that's currently out for 2027. There's a little bit of vagueness to this. We're trying to work some of this out with TWDB to understand exactly what they mean by consistent. My understanding from my conversations with them is that it needs to be in line with the goals of the plan, which all the things that you would want to do, I believe, would be in line with those goals. You must have a current financial audit, which I'll do. Debbie made me aware of that, so we're good there. We actually don't have to have a construction-ready project. So that's only for populations that are greater than 150,000 because they wouldn't be able to pay for the design and the planning phase. For for our range, we'd actually be able to get funding for that. So however, like to Debbie's point, if the project is construction ready, you do get more points. So if the district did want to go ahead and get something designed, shelf ready, it would score better for the district on potentially getting the funds.
And those funds could be reimbursed back to the district that we pay up front.
For the application itself,
Yeah, and the plans.
I believe so.
Yeah,
Yes.
when I read it, it was,
Yes.
if we come out of pocket up front, those are reimbursable
Yes, ma'am.
through the grant.
Yes, ma'am. Okay. If you go to the back, a little bit about the criteria, like Debbie mentioned, the annual medium household income is gonna be a big portion of that, which I think West Odessa would score well on. Wholesale water providers, that's not really applicable to ECUD, so that would be more for like an Odessa type applicant, which I don't think they're applying for this. And then, like I mentioned before, if you do have a shelf ready to go project, it does score you more points. As you can see right there, it says that projects that are deemed ready to proceed, that's an extra 10 points. That would be good. And just Debbie hit on a lot of the next steps, but the application opens next month. It's gonna be open for 120 days. I did confirm that if we apply in March versus if we apply at the end towards in July, there's no preference and getting the funds. So like somebody that applies right off the bat is not gonna get funds that you wouldn't get if you applied a month later. So it's not a first come, first serve, and this is advantageous to us because we have the extra county survey going on right now. So we want to understand where those locations are, where the county wants to allocate the 16.75 million to. And those areas that they're going to be planning to extend water infrastructure, we don't want to apply for with this grant. So we would want to make sure, which we believe that the county will have a decision for basically ready to go for construction in June. And so we can spend the month of June putting together our application and making sure that we get it done before the deadline in July. So.
So it'll give us time to, once the county does their deal, is we can look at
Another area.
another area.
Yeah, or an area that maybe we did get survey results, but the money just couldn't.
We just never.
Yeah, we wouldn't necessarily have to have a plan or a drawing or at that time.
We would, at a bare minimum, would need an exhibit to put with the application, but what Debbie's point is, if we were actually able to have construction ready plans by the time we apply, then we would score higher.
We spend a little more
I
money.
think we probably should do that.
Yeah.
Point myself, it's already-
Now with the county's master plan be helping out,
Do what?
would the county's master plan be helping out as far as
The survey will.
the survey fund?
Yes. Yeah. And I will say, as far as Kimley Warren's fee on this, I'm actually not prepared to talk about the design part of it. I am prepared to talk about the application, what I think that would take. But I would like to discuss with the board, like what areas that we want to look at first. And then also too, that depends on what projects that the county doesn't, extend lines to. So that could change our scope and fee, things like that. So I'd like to see what project we want to do first before providing my cost for that, what that's going to take.
Okay.
But for the application itself, it's also hard to give a firm answer on that because the application hasn't opened, so I haven't seen it. But from our experience with these TWD applications, it would consist of like maps, exhibits, cost estimates, schedules, things like that. So what I would request is if we could potentially, sorry, is there a question?
No.
Okay. What we would request from y'all is basically just an allowance to bill up to $15,000 for the application. But if we were able to do the application for $7,000, I wouldn't bill you for another 80. And I would propose to use our existing on-call hourly contract for y'all for that.
Once you submit your application, will it give you the opportunity to make the presentation?
Yeah, did they give y'all a presentation?
No, will they give you an opportunity to make a
Present it.
presentation?
Oh, that's not typically how they've done that in the past. I can look into that, but I don't think they typically.
So it's basically just by the information you provide.
Correct.
Okay.
The more fill your application is, the better off your chances are.
And the more points we get that they're requiring.
Absolutely.
But Kimberly Horn's actually gonna be doing the application for the grant,
Yes.
not ECUD.
Correct. Yes,
So
sir.
I will help in whatever help he needs.
All the information.
Absolutely.
Yeah. It's a
It's a joint
partnership.
effort.
It's a joint effort
joint effort,
partnership
yeah.
for us to be able to do this together.
I think it'd be remiss of us not to do it.
Well, thank you, Chandler,
Yeah.
for your time.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, I mean, it's an additional maybe 15 million on top of the 16.7. And so when you think of how much money
can double that money.
that we would have possible access to,
And for-
plus we get to piggyback on the data that the county's using to help us with our decisions. So,
It's a win-win-win.
I mean, it's a diamond in the rough.
But if we don't try, we're not
Right,
gonna
right.
get it. And it's a $15,000 gamble. I would like to call the vote of,
Well,
And I'll say one last thing. So if you do have shelf-ready plans and we don't get the grant, I will say there's a lot of other grants out there that it's really similar in the criteria of if you do have a shelf-ready project, you do score higher. So I do think we can keep going out for more grants if we don't get this one, and we're going to be in a better position if we have a project already identified. So
fantastic.
I agree.
to me, it's a win-win.
Oh,
So
I
my
got it.
recommendation to the board is for y'all to follow through with this.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passes 5-0.
So, Mr. President, I need you somewhere to amend your motion, your second, that you approve up to $15,000 for the application process. And that, once Kimberly Horn or Taylor has an idea from the board, what the plans will be, that will be addressed
Address
at
that.
a later meeting or at a committee meeting.
Okay, then we'll reopen that vote. This is to allow up to $15,000 to Kinley Horn for the application process. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passes 5-0.
Thank you, I'm sorry.
Yes, ma'am.
It has to be on the record.
Okay, this is the one that I brought. Discuss and review and take any action on the district's ongoing need of counsel. And I believe we have a public comment.
Pass. Pass.
Oh, okay, you pass? Okay, yes, ma'am. I just want to say one little thing about this. We decided to have a lawyer present at all meetings until you had some time under your belt. The three of you now have had a year and 3 months or 4 months. I believe it's time to move on without having counsel at every meeting, costing us money. And, I know that I'm all behind it. I know I believe that we can do a good job, and I believe we have been doing a very good, transparent job. And I don't believe we need an attorney any longer. Every meeting. Every meeting. If something comes up and we have a question, we can get with Debbie or reach out, your name will be tied to that bill. So we have to be careful about, extraneous questions. But I don't believe that this board is doing anything improper. I don't believe after the 3 audits, we've done anything financially improper. I believe we're following the law of the T, and I would like to cut this cost so we can give our money back to our ECUD customers and quit spending it. No offense, Nicole, but
Well,
don't mess with me.
I'm gonna disagree.
Okay.
Uh, As long as I've been coming to ECUD meetings, right or wrong, they've had legal representation. We had one who used to sit in on the board meeting. I can't say it was always good representation, but that was who it was. And they were there to answer legal questions, and that board wasn't trying to do anything wrong either. They were doing things the way they saw it. But I think it would be remiss of us to just say we don't need an attorney. Nicole has cut her bill down as far as I'm assuming she can probably cut it, and that would have been a lot of the major drives. Debbie suggested to help with the calendar. They got the calendar, and that should help through. But Debbie's been doing a good job on our finances, keeping us in the black. And I don't see a problem with her being able to keep up with Nicole and her billing. and go on. But I mean, we never know what's liable to come up during the meeting. I mean, we've already seen that in the last year, because you had some inquiries as far as your legal standings. And I just think it would be remiss of this board, uh, not to have legal counsel listen in on it. And if there's anybody to blame, in my opinion, on her bill, part of it will be us and doing these board meetings and trying to keep them as short and as abrupt as we can, therefore reducing her cost of what she's gonna charge, because she's gonna sit here and listen to what we're going to make sure that we don't overstep our bounds. And I'm sorry, but I just think it would be remiss of us not to do it. The county don't go through their meetings without having a lawyer on hand. It might be a different deal because he's on salary for the county, but he's sitting there listening, and there's no telling what that costs the county to have it. But I think as a board, it would be irresponsible of us not to have legal presentation here. If we want to cut costs, you know my opinion on that. We done wasted $36,000 on the Berkeley plant that nobody bothered to do anything about. So we need to look at things as what they are, and I think we need legal representation.
I guess John, what you're saying is there's other areas we can cut back and keep insured. So I have talked to Midville Commissioners Court and everything. I've had, since this came out last couple of days, people said, they like the fact that we've got representation all the time. Talked to the judge and, we've talked about this in the past. Our legal fees are probably some of the cheapest ones we have. Can we make it short and smaller? So, yeah, I think we can, but, if I'm not mistaken, Debbie, I asked you, our legal fees are well under budget from what last year and what we had budgeted. So I think we're doing good. I mean, I understand, trust me, on the business side, I do understand the cut back. But for everybody that we represent, each individual and our constituents, I think, we need to listen to them a little bit. So, I still think we need to keep turning on at all meetings.
Okay, that being said, I will say one thing, and that was, we've gone through about 3 or 4 meetings now that she has not had anything to interject. And I believe, and I have faith in this board, and I have faith in our staff, that if something is questionable, one of us is going to catch it. I therefore make the motion to disregard using the district's ongoing need of counsel at every board meeting. Do I have a second? John, second. John Hendricks, sorry. John. All in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed?
Nay.
2 to 2, and it's abstained. So it's a tie vote. What do we do here, Nicole?
If I heard correctly, it was 2, and 1 abstain.
Yes, ma'am?
Okay, so the motion failed.
Okay, motion failed.
The board can continue to have discussion, or the board can make a new motion.
Nicole,
Yes?
you care to comment either way in your defense?
I mean, in regards to, well, let me go over a few things. As far as like y'all's budget, I mean, y'all have budgeted 50,000 for legal. If you break that down for 12 months, that's a little over 4,000 a month. I believe the last few months, my invoice has been under 1,000, so we're well under budget. It's my understanding that, ECUD always had legal counsel at their meetings. When I first came on board, you all had an attorney who also was, based in Austin and attended via remotely. And I don't know what those costs were, but, looking at past audits, y'all paid, quite a lot in legal fees. And again, to Director Panda's point, I think I'm still under budget, for this fiscal year. As far as, interjecting comments, I try to interject if I'm asked a question, if I hear something that, causes concern or issue. The last few agendas have been fairly light. There hasn't been much for me to, interject about. As far as, having legal representation and not having legal representation, I have found in my 15-year career that, the districts who, want to cut costs did not have legal representation at all their meetings. It's two things. It's one, for an attorney to come, jump in if they've missed, the last 5 meetings and try to gain some of that historical information, and get caught up on an issue. And then second, it's a meeting that, you don't have an attorney at, that something goes awry or you're in violation of the many statutes that govern y'all. So, I mean, as I think most of y'all know, my firm represents over 100 MUD districts. We attend all their meetings regularly. So again, there are some times, there's heavier agendas than others. I will say, I don't always receive, the meeting packets well in enough time to prepare if needed. When I do send email correspondence, I don't get much of, if any, feedback or correspondence. So, I'm trying to represent the district in the best way possible, with the information that I'm getting on a, not monthly, or I'd say monthly basis.
Okay, thank you.
Hey, Troy, can I make one statement?
I'm sorry,
Okay.
I'm sorry.
Nicole,
Yes,
as one board member, I want you to know, I appreciate what you've done now and in the past, and I know it's a thankless job, but, I do appreciate what you have done.
Okay,
well, thank you, Director Finley.
all right. Discuss, review, and take action, the annexation petition of Lot 6 and 7, Block 5 of the Knox Village Ranchettes Phase 2, subdivision of Ector County according to the map, and plat their record of volume 22, page 1, plats record, Ector County located at 906 North Knox Avenue. Do I have a motion?
South Knox. You said north to south.
South Knox, I apologize.
I motion.
Daryl Pando with the first. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Jesus Sanchez for a second. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Passes 5-0. Discuss, review, and take action, the annexation for A 109.093 acre tract of land, more or less, out of a 200 acre tract in sections 9 and 10, block 43, TS2, T2S, TNP RY Company Survey, Ector County, Texas, located at 8405 West 42nd and 9050 West 42nd. Do I have a motion?
I motion.
Daryl makes a motion. I'll second. All in favor?
Discussion.
Okay.
If I'm not mistaken, part of this property, that 109 acres, is where the, pump
Pump
station
station is.
and the circular
I
tank
think it
is
stops
right
right
on the corner.
before of it. I think it stops right
Our
before.
property's right in the corner, I think, the back corner.
Ours is the back. Ours is the back.
Ours is the back?
Yeah.
Okay.
Out of one corner. And then this runs all the way up to Sierra or the backside of Sierra.
Yes, sir.
Why do they want to annex it with, and they're not gonna put a large meter or anything in? Why would somebody want to do that? That's the only question I
I
have.
think they're possibly hoping for part of the 16 million to help with
They're looking
that.
for future water. So they're going through this process first.
Commercial property.
So
And do they understand that there's a possibility that the M&O tax might get reinstated?
did I have that conversation with them? No.
Yeah.
Did staff? No. Do we have that conversation with everyone that wants to be annexed? No,
We don't volunteer to have that information.
not unless it's asked.
We got big one PO'd individually, if we do. Get it.
You probably,
We don't have the right to vote or against it if we get them.
Well, I understand that, but
So,
he's the only one vote at it. And he's gonna stand a lot more to lose than what they are.
but I don't know how many.
But I would think that them asking for annexation would actually, you're willing to take on everything that comes with it.
mhm. He requested it. He wants to be annexed.
All right.
Does that have any effect on our property there?
No.
He's been looking at this.
He's been looking at it
before we built the pump station.
Mhm.
Do we have full access through there?
Yes.
From 42nd?
Yes.
Is that ours or is that easement?
No,
It's,
It's easement. It's our easement. It's our easement.
Easement or we don't?
No, it's our easement.
Okay.
All in favor? Aye.
Nay.
Motion passes 4-1. Receive general manager's report regarding the following: customer delinquencies, disconnects, collection referrals, and financials. Ms. Hayes.
So during the month of January, our revenue was down some. Of course, as some of you might have recalled, December's was way up, more than normal. So your actual water revenue was around 590,000, with new customer deposits at $11,700. And then other, income items that come down to your total revenue of 631,369, which is lower significantly from, again, your December. In your expenses, there really wasn't anything that really stood out. Your city water bill was 205,000. Even with some overtime, we also had overtime in December, so even your payroll wasn't up because we did have some line breaks in Trip that were hit. I don't know if any of y'all have driven over there, but it is a mess. And I do mean a mess. So, like I basically do 2 Hail Marys and cross and pray. But they don't keep hitting our lines because they have hit our lines at least 3 times.
Construction people?
Yeah, so we fix them, they fix them, we fix them together.
Are we holding liable for it?
Pardon me?
Are we
Yes,
holding liable for it?
we are. Mhm. Yeah,
Yes.
we definitely are.
Yes.
So there's really not anything that's outstanding at all, in January when you go through your revenue. But at the end of the month, we made about $52,000. If you go through and look at our year-to-date, last year at this time was a profit of 517,000. And for 2026, we're sitting at 643,000, which is a gain of 126,000 from last year to this year. So,
Hats off to the staff.
so we're doing really pretty good. The Burke Pump Station is in day 3 of being disassembled. So they are over there disassembling the Burke Pump Station as we sit here today.
Is
So-
there a guy doing that?
No, sir.
No,
It was bid out and we got a bid and their insurance and everything came through. So we hired them and they're over there working, which is good. So for the month of January, we had 323 work orders that were dispatched out into the field. Our average phone call, generally at phone calls were 1509, 844 inbound, 665 outbound for 2.21 minutes. And the average calls per day are 49 per day. We put in 2 taps, field staff did, customers contracted out and put in 2 taps as well. On the delinquency side, there were 285 accounts that were delinquent. On the 19th of the month, there were 55 customers that failed to make their payments. All those 55 customers were called, and as a result, a small percentage ended up with their waters turned off. There were 98 manual reads. We did get in some of our new meters, and we have got about 10 to 15 probably in the ground now as a test pilot to make sure that everything is being read correctly, everything's working well with the computers, and everything. So we'll eventually get those manual reads down to where we won't have to do that, we hope. That's the goal, as we replace them and go through that process. So, as some of you attended, the town hall meetings that the county was putting on, I think they were very well received in West Odessa. I think Gardendale had 3 to 5 that attended that were not either part of their Gardendale board or county employees, and the same thing in Pleasant Farms. So the most widely attended town halls were attended last Tuesday and last Thursday at Kellis Turner Park. The county is, of course, this is their project. They are working to get the surveys in. We are encouraging people to do that. We've assisted a lot of people in doing it. So we're trying to do our part to make sure that that process works smoothly and we get as much data from that as we can. The last time I heard, which has been 2-3 days ago, I think we're above 500 now in actual surveys that have been actually turned in. So when you think about it, 500 is really not a lot considering the population, but they're still collecting data. The majority of all those have been turned in, have been in West Odessa. So I commend the people that have done that and just continue to encourage them to continue to fill them out so that we can supply the county with the best data that we can, because that data only helps facilitate what this board and the county makes the next decision moving forward with that money. So,
absolutely.
and with that, I think that's all I have.
Okay. We don't vote on that.
I wanna say something about the town hall meetings and about.
Oh, they are gonna have a Spanish one later on this month.
Okay. And about the survey. For y'all that don't know, I went out to the Spanish speaking radio station,
Yes.
took that survey, that QR code, talked on there, encouraging the people to fill it out. But, I don't know if I don't know if anybody heard or anything more, I don't know, we haven't had much response. And, one other thing, in town hall meetings we had, I find people that have a hard time believing we're gonna do this, or the county's gonna do this. A lot of people would say, they've been told for us for years, they told us before, it doesn't happen.
Not this
I wanna
one.
tell people to believe this time.
They don't believe me.
A lot of people make that comment, they don't.
We're gonna prove it.
Well,
The county's
I'm
got-
not saying it, I'm just saying,
I know.
I've dealt with a bunch of people out there in my area. One of them said, well, we tried this before, I'll fill it out, but it's waste my time. And
It's
that's
not,
people's
it's not a
attitude.
waste.
And I can only, I understand what you're saying. I'm saying the people's attitude, we've been screwed for damn long, that's the attitude.
I understand, but you have a whole new board that you voted for.
No, I didn't get voted, but yeah.
Yeah, neither did I.
I don't think, Bruce Landgraf wants to come over here and lie to you. I mean, I don't think he's gonna waste his time because I don't think he'll do that.
And we're just following for
I
another.
understand it, I understand it. I'm just saying,
Hope should be high.
Right. And we have, pretty important people involved. A lot of important people.
I know
involved,
that,
so
I know that, don't, I'm
I'm gonna
not,
tell people.
I've been doing a lot of footwork for y'all, passing these surveys out, talking to a lot of people in my neighborhood.
We appreciate
And a lot of people are scared to fill it out because y'all are asking personal questions, especially about their income,
If they, you
how
know
many
what,
children they have.
if you actually,
just bypass
just to
it.
put
Just
the minimum
bypass it.
amount of income, I mean,
Just-
later on, it does help.
That's what I tell them. And they're still worried about being audited or something coming down on them.
Yeah, there's
I don't
no,
know why the Spanish speaking community feels like that.
I'll tell you what.
watch TV. It's pretty easy to figure out.
There's nothing we can do about all.
No, there isn't.
just go on.
All we can do is we assure you, if you're listening to this broadcast, if you're listening to this board meeting, we believe that we can make a difference. We need your help. Please get involved.
The only difference this time is before, is the money is actually there.
Here, the money is here.
It's there.
The money is here.
I've noticed that a lot of
Somebody
people
will get
don't,
it.
yeah, I've noticed that a lot of people in the townhouse don't know that we have the money's there.
Yeah,
The money's
money is there, 17, almost 17,000.
Million.
Okay, million, sorry. All consent agenda items considered by routine by the board will be enacted by a single motion. We'll discuss.
Wait a minute, you vote on the GM report for the financial, so.
I'll okay the GM report, I'm sorry.
I did, so.
Do I have a motion to approve? John Hendricks makes a motion, second by John Kelly. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Passes 5-0.
Thank you, Neil.
Sorry. All consent agenda items considered routine by the board will be enacted by a single motion. No separate discussion or action of any of the items is necessary unless directed by a board member. Discuss and consider, take action necessary regarding the minutes from January 14th board meeting. And discuss and consider, take action as necessary regarding the accounts payable for February 11th, 2026. Do I have a motion?
I'm not sure.
Darrell Pando, do I have a second?
Second.
Jesus Sanchez, all in favor? Motion passes 5-0. I make a motion that we adjourn.
Before you get to that, Lord, David, I want to commend you and appreciate you finding that, grant. And we're trying to bring it to your attention, although it is a little late, but we appreciate it. And that's what the board needs to move forward.
And this is stuff like this that we're trying to find going forward.
So they're not, I mean, they're out there, but sometimes the qualifications keep you from doing it. And so this one just landed because of the legislation that just, ended. And so, really, and thank you, Director Kelly, I appreciate that very, very much. Probably more than you probably really realize
Well-
from you. I really do. And I know that Charles Perry up in Lubbock was very instrumental in getting all of that passed, and along with, our Senator Sparks and Brooks, and some of us here locally have played a big part in getting that big push of money. And so that's just trickled down along with Brooks getting what he did. But you know, it's, in fact, the meeting that I was in Midland, with, Commissioner Jim Wright, water is a major issue for the state of Texas. And so anything that we can grab for our little population that we have out here, I'm dang sure gonna try.
Awesome.
Well, the only thing they can do to me is tell me no.
Well,
So thank you very, very much.
even if it is a long shot, it.
It's a shot.
You don't
Jeremy
know.
said it looks like we got a good shot.
Yeah.
So, you don't know unless you try.
No, because I know that money is not gonna go that far that the county has, and so this is almost double what we could get from them, and that's even farther that we can put pipe. So
Amen.
that's all we're trying to do.
Seconded by Daryl Pandell, all in favor? Aye, 5-0, let's go.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Nicole.
Nicole.
Yeah.
Thanks, Nicole.